Hey, this is Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin. You're listening and watching to Backstage Access, where the real show begins.
I don't need a bad religion to practice what they preach.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you for joining us here today at Backstage Access. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me and giving me a platform to talk about myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever you want to talk about. So you've got a brand new record coming out. So let's talk a little bit about that and tell us a little bit about Infinity Now.
Yeah, it's so this is my first it's my second full length solo album, but my first with Rise Records. So kind of a new partnership there. So I'm super excited about that. Um, yeah, really wanted to put my best foot forward and really use the label's resources as much as I could and write with as many talented songwriters and producers I could to see what we could come up with. And yeah, I'm really excited. We got two songs out. I got another song coming out maybe in about a week or so, and then the album comes out March 3rd. Yeah, just rock and roll and lyrical content straight from the heart. And yeah, that's it.
So you had mentioned that, you wanted to work with a lot of writers and collaborations. So tell us a little bit about how that process went for you on this record.
Yeah, I think what they kind of do, they set you up with different people, and they kind of group it all together day after day. So it's kind of like I've never done speed dating, but it kind of felt like speed dating in a way. A lot of these people, a couple of them I haven't worked with ever before. So you kind of walk in and you're just like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Let's try to create the most amazing creative thing we can." But it really was a cool process. I think, it's kind of neat to kind of just, work off your instinct and, and just try to really take advantage of the time that you have with these incredibly talented people. So I was really stoked about the whole process, and the end result was awesome. And then plus you kind of go through that process to kind of figure out, or at least in my situation, it was kind of a process to figure out who was going to produce my album. So I think we settled on Kevin Thrasher because the writing session that I had with him was, it bore fruit. So it was really a good thing. I mean, we were able to just get one song the first day, and then the next day I wrote with him, we got another song. So I just thought to myself, imagine if we had a few weeks to like work on stuff, who knows what we can come up with. So
Right.
it was cool.
Now, did you already have some songs kind of in the works when you were going into these sessions?
Yeah, absolutely. I find that I try not to walk in empty-handed for the most part. If I didn't have a song idea already kind of uh, in the can, I had a song title, which surprisingly is a nice little head start because from the song title you can kind of work off. There's a concept already. You can kind of reverse engineer and really create something from that. So yeah.
Sure, sure. Now, it's been a few years since you put out your debut solo record. So what kind of made this a good time? Is it just a logistics thing, or did you have songs that you just wanted to really get out there and put your solo stuff back in the forefront for a bit?
Yeah, I think obviously my schedule is very dependent on Breaking Benjamin's schedule.
Sure.
So I look at it like this. There is no focused direction as far as like this is Breaking Benjamin's my plan A, and this is my plan B. They are both very much my plan A's. And so I think it was just time to release more music and get out there and tour, just like any other band would want to get out there and make more music and tour, just to try to build the name and to build the product, and what everybody knows as Keith Wallen. So just trying to get out there and further my career on every avenue I can.
Awesome. Now, when you're touring and you're busy with Breaking Benjamin and everything else that you might have going on, and you start to get ideas for songs, do you think about like, well, this is going to be a Keith Wallen song, or maybe I should bring this to the table for Breaking Benjamin?
If I come up with something really, 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 really cool, I keep it for myself. No, I'm just kidding. Nah. No, I think I think a cool idea is a cool idea. I think you can kind of mold it either way, any which way you want. There's no real rules. I think whenever I'm kind of sitting down and I'm writing for something in particular, I kind of I don't know. It's a case by case basis. I think if I know I'm going to be working on something for a particular thing, I kind of focus and have my mindset for that particular project. So yeah, it's a project by project basis. So I don't really think about it too much.
So tell us a little bit about Infinity Now. How would you kind of describe that in just a few words, the record?
Um, Psychedelic, uh, melodic hard rock.
Okay, cool. Because the first thing that popped into my head when I listened was dreamy. It has that like a little bit of a ethereal kind of dreamy quality to it, which
I
is
love
really,
that.
really cool. Really cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love that. That's cool. Yeah, obviously, I haven't one of my old singles is called Dream Away. Yeah, I kind of was inspired uh uh with this album. I was inspired about by a psychedelic experience that I had a few years back where I took this drug called ayahuasca. It's basically DMT, but it's like a tea. Um, I think lots of people have taken it before. They go down to the Amazon and they take it for almost like therapeutic, reasons. Granted, I'm not a doctor. Disclaimer, disclaimer. Uh, but I had a really incredible experience with it, and there was a lot of things that I just saw, and I mean, it's a journey for sure. And so some of the subject matter, some of the songs, even some of the visuals that I write about in this album, and some of the songs is directly from that experience.
Very cool. Very cool. Tell us a little bit about how the recording process worked for this record. Are you doing a lot of the things yourself? Are you playing a lot of the instruments yourself, or did you bring people in? How does that work?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a combination of that. I played primarily a lot of the guitar, all the vocals. I played bass on this album also. Um, but yeah, there's a certain degree where I have to kind of step back and be like, all right, let's let some really really amazing musicians kind of play their strong suit. So I had a couple different drummers play on the album. Some incredible production by Kevin Thrasher, mixed by Joel Wanasek, mastered by Mayor Applebaum. We had a lot of we had a good amount of time to really focus on some of the fine details like that, and those guys really just knocked it out of the park. So I'm that's one of my talents. I think is I know when to step back and let people that are like way more talented than me take over on certain things. So I find that I feel like I've got a good skill for recognizing that.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there what song on the new record kind of means the most to you right now?
Oh gosh.
Is there one that kind
Uh,
of sticks out above the others?
yeah, I think honestly, personally, the one that means the most to me is called Dear Father. Um, Again, this comes from a vision and an experience that I had during that psychedelic thing. But I guess to kind of expound on that a little bit, um, it's kind of like you think about your loved ones that you've lost over the years, people that were close to you, a family member, a friend. There's amount of time. There's a bit of time that goes by sometimes between you losing them and you just going on and living your life, and you think about like, gosh, I just want to talk to them. I just want to get them on the phone. I just want to communicate everything that I've experienced, and are they watching? Are they aware of what we've done? So it's basically that, dear Father, have I wish you could see me now. I wish you could see this career that I've cultivated and worked so hard over the years, and I hope you're proud, and I hope you're kind of watching over me. I want to believe that there is a connection there, and that they are keeping an eye on us.
Firm believer in that. Firm believer in that, for sure. Now you've got some tour dates coming up. So Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that, because you've got some with Breaking Benjamin and some without. What's the plan?
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. I gotta tell you, I gotta hand it to my manager Jerome, for really just helping kind of put all this together. Obviously, my booking agent and my booking agency, Sound Talent, they've just been amazing to get this all put together. So, yeah, there's some shows where I'm playing just with Breaking Benjamin. There's some shows that I'm opening for Breaking Benjamin and playing with Breaking Benjamin. There's shows that are in between Breaking Benjamin stuff. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. But I'm really stoked to get out there, on all fronts, all capacities. It's a lot of work, but I live for this. I mean, I'm so grateful to have this opportunity. One, to be able to perform with Breaking Band, but also to perform my solo music with my solo band and everything in between. It really is a blessing, and I'm incredibly grateful and excited to get out there. I think that's the one thing I've kind of missed with my solo career so far is I haven't done a whole lot of solo touring. I mean, obviously the pandemic, I released my album basically right in the middle of all that. And I
Right.
think everybody kind of suffered through that and didn't really tour as much as they
Sure.
wanted, but everything's open now and I'm trying to hit it while I can.
So you have a band that you put together to accompany you on these dates then?
I do, just like the music, just like the albums, it's a full band. There's drums, there's all that stuff, and we perform it absolutely to a T as best we can live. At least, I try my best to sing everything accurately. But yeah, I have some incredibly talented people that I'm just really honored to share the stage with, both with Breaking Benjamin and with my solo band. So excited to get out there.
Have you ever done that double duty kind of thing before where you're the opening act and the headliner?
Yeah, I have a few times. There's been a few acoustic tours that Breaking Benjamin has had over the last couple years where, it's kind of like they have a built-in opening band. So, and that turns out to be me. And be like, Keith, you want to open the show for this acoustic tour? And I'm like, okay, but here's the thing. It's kind of an interesting thing. And I've only done it once with the full band, but we've got a couple more booked here in May that we're going to do it. But I never wanted to come across that I'm riding any kind of coattails or I'm using any kind of advantage here because, I really want this solo project to whatever success or whatever kind of progress we make, I want it to be on the music and the merit of that. And, no kind of special favors because I just happen to be in Breaking Benjamin. I really want to make that clear. But at the same time, if Breaking Benjamin is like, hey, we need someone to open this spot. Are you available? Would you want to do this? It's hard for me to say no because I know I'm going to be in front of a lot of people. And an experiment that I actually performed this last tour opening for Breaking Ben, I asked people, I said, who all has heard of me? And, there'd be some people be like, I've heard of, who has never heard of me in their life? And there'd be surprisingly a lot of people that just didn't know I existed. I'm like, well, all the people that's never heard of me, I've played guitar in the band that you came here to see for the last 10 years, and I get it. Not everybody pays attention to who the band members are and all that stuff. But so I found it interesting. So I almost, kind of reinstilled the fact that, hey, you got to get in front of anybody and everybody whenever you can. If it's before Breaking Benjamin or whoever, my job right now is to really let people know that I exist. So yeah.
Well, we hope we can help with that. When you're bringing your solo stuff, what are you most looking forward to about the solo performances live?
I mean, every bit of it, every bit of it. I love it. It's so fun. It really excites me when I see, a lot of people in front of me. I really do. I look at it as just an incredible opportunity, and it just makes me feel alive. I mean, I've been in Breaking Band for a while, and I've kind of been on the side playing guitar, and so to kind of step into this frontman role again, it's definitely it's out of my comfort zone a little bit, but the more I do it, the more comfortable I feel. But I love it. It really makes me feel alive to get out there and just and do it. And yeah, it's cool to see some familiar faces, some Breaking Benjamin fans here and there, in the crowd. But it's really just incredible to see new faces that I've never seen. I'm just like, this is a great opportunity to get out there and shake my tuchus on the stage, as they say.
Oh, we look forward to it. I hope I can catch one of the dates, and I hope you expand those dates moving on. Because I love it when an artist does solo stuff and does things away from their main band right now. And I know you said they're both, they're both on the table for you right now, but
Sure.
it's just an amazing opportunity for fans and for music lovers to see people in a different element than what they're used to seeing them in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope we come, somewhere near you. I'd love to have you out. Yeah, I think what's ideal for me sometimes is when someone they just love the performance, they love the music, and they're like, wow, this is a really great artist. And then just through that they discover, oh, he plays guitar in Breaking Benjamin too. I love that, because then it's like, I know they're seeing me for who I am and what the music is, and there's no preconceived notion of like, oh, he's just a guitar player, so it's cool to have that kind of discovery that way.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. I hope that everybody gets a chance to check out Infinity Now when it's out. Like I said, I loved it. It's such a dreamy kind of just super, super great melodies and outstanding
Thank you.
vocals. Outstanding vocals. I know that's you're not usually the front man, but I would love to hear all those songs live. So I look forward to that
Ah,
hopefully soon.
thank you so very much, and once again, thank you so much for allowing me to be here on your amazing platform, and I appreciate you so much. And whoever's watching, whoever's listening, please check out my songs. My Instagram's at KJ Wallen. It's my Twitter, it's my TikTok, all that stuff. And the album comes out May 3rd. And hope to see you guys. And I hope to see you too at a show sometime soon. It would be awesome.
It's a living if I can't live free. Oh,